And we are live. Beautiful. So, good evening, my lovely ladies, maybe some gentlemen as well. Welcome to your second posture clinic. As I said before, what is the posture clinic? I got some equipment. We will go through various poses in terms of the yoga, Pilates, bar or my pump class, so you have a good alignment. So what we're doing today, we're going into your bench press. So we will need a step as you do for your pump lift shape class. You will need a barbell if you're using the barbell, so I put that one handy as well. And also, if you can, if you don't have a barbell and you're using for the class dumbbells, get the dumbbells on. So what we want to today go through, we will go, as I said, a variation of the bench press. We will go into some shoulder work, just the main thing, so you have an idea about the front, side, back, how is the alignment in terms of the shoulder position, elbow position. I have some fly here. And we will go through a basic triceps and basic biceps. Again, when we curling, so just your plain bicep curl and some hammer curls. So that's all for today. Hopefully this fly is funny. So hopefully we're gonna be done in 30 minutes. That was our aim last week as well, right? It didn't happen. It was taking us 45 when we were going over the lower body. We were doing the squats, we were doing the deadlifts, we were doing the lunges. So before we get directly into these, last Saturday in my class, I used 3 terms. I wasn't sure if you're all familiar with it, so let's just get it straight. So I use isometric, isotonics, and plyometrics. That's what I was using. So just very quickly explain, when we were doing the squatting, when we were going through a plain squat, when we hold a position without the movement, it's called isometric, right? It's just a different tonus of the muscles, so you're just holding the position. I'm often using it in Pilates as well. If you have your isotonic movement, so that means it's a movement, right? We're going up and down. When we're going through plyometrics, that's what we were doing, we were jumping, yeah? So plyometric is jumping. In terms of the tonus of the muscle, each works slightly differently, right? And other terms what I was using was slow it down, you need to increase time under tension. So what is time under tension? Is the time the muscle stays in a contraction. So the slower you're going up and down, yeah, so in that concentric, so on the way up is your concentric movement, on the way down is eccentric movement. So you slower you go in the movement, the longer is the time under tension. So hi Isolda, the longer is the time under tension, so the stronger is your workout, right? So you can decide how difficult you make this class. It's up to you. Also the contraction, right? Especially when we Pilates, the squeeze, right? The contraction, the more you contract, the stronger resistance you create. So that's in terms of the basics. Let's get into our bench press so we don't waste the time. I will demonstrate with both. So doesn't matter. Let me bring it a little bit lower now. Good. So it doesn't matter if you do it with a barbell or if you have a dumbbells, principle will be the same. So we want to get onto the step. Remember, the step is there just to increase the range of movement. I don't want my head to hang. So if I would be on a floor and I'm going in a bench press, the elbow obviously would be stopped by the pavement or by your mat. If you elevate it, you can go in a slightly bigger range of movement. Now, how is the position here? Lots of guys often happen to them, they ride off the shoulder because they're using too much ego. The weight is too heavy, so when they go in that full range, what it happens, they passing the point, the pectoral muscle, the chest is actually holding it and they're dropping down to the shoulder. So if they're going relatively heavy with 100 kilos or more, So everything is offset to the shoulder joint, and that's where the disaster happens. So when I'm coming in my bench press, the first is the range of movement. So what I want to assess, what is my range of movement. I just sit down for a moment with this. If I'm opening and doing my press, I don't want to be pressing from my ear. So you're trying to relax your upper traps. So again, where we're pressing, we should press about nipple high. So there is that nice diagonal line from my shoulder to the elbow. So you want to assess the range of movement. So from the side, I can pass the point of 180, but I don't want to go all the way down where I already feel it just in my shoulder. Yeah. So let's do it. Just the beginning. So you would have a bar. So I would put a bar about the nipple high. Now we go for the wide one. So the standard one. I would be holding the barbell actually completely to the end. So when I'm coming down to my chest, there is a 90-degree angle between my biceps and a forearm. Now, if you notice, if I go in this angle, also probably this way, how is my wrist? Often, problem is that people just bend in a wrist. So this is not the right grip, how to hold the bar. Because again, you're bringing way too much pressure on your wrist joint. So you want to keep a nice straight line. Let me bring the bar down. Nice straight line, yeah, from the knuckles to your elbow. So I would start, so pressing up. So that will be my starting position if you go wide. So rule of thumb, always on the easier part you inhale in a bodybuilding or in a lifting. So it would be nipple high. I'm not resting it in my chest. Shoulders are away from ear. I'm going into full range of movement, but still I need to hold it through my chest muscle. On an exhale, you drive it up. Yeah, not locking through the elbow. Now, how is the position of the chest? Let me bring it down. So you see sometimes in a gym what the guys do, they actually go in a really strong back bend. Now, it's not really a back bend. It might be confusing. What it is, very similar as we're doing in our Pilates, you want to fully extend your chest. So I slightly lift the top of my rib cage, but again, you don't want to lock it in the lower back. The moment I lock it in the middle lower back, the lumbar sacral area, your back is gone, especially with a heavier weight. So I'm lifting through the chest, so I get slightly support from my shoulder blades and the back. But you want to close the bottom part of the ribs, holding the core strong. So obviously I'm not going to jam it in that lumbar sacral area, so middle lower back. So shoulders away from here. Let's just demonstrate quickly with dumbbells and we're moving on. So if you go for the wide, same. The dumbbells would be nicely aligned. I'm not locking anything in my wrist. So straight up, shoulders away from here, elevate the chest, close the bottom part of the rib, pushing nipple high. Exhale on the way up. Inhale, I'm coming into full range of movement, but still engage in your chest, yeah? If I go, I can go even lower, can you see? But now I'm completely in my shoulder joint. So can you see the difference? So I'm passing the point. This is 180 if you're on a floor. You can go maybe 200 degrees when you're on a step, depending on your shoulder mobility. Always check with your shoulder. We're going to keep it safe. So the second position we will do occasionally is the close grip, right? So one is the 90 degree, the other one would be the close grip. Same rule would apply. I would be holding it with elbow close to the rib cage. So nice and down, again strong core. On an exhale we press up, inhale coming down. Now with this position, what tends to happen, people again, if they load it too heavy, start going in the upper traps. So you don't want to be pushing from the upper traps when you go up, yeah? So you don't want to be going here, you're keeping the shoulders down, you're pressing from your pecs, from your chest, yeah? So that go for the bows. If you would do dumbbell or barbell, is the closed one, you're pressing up, but pushing shoulders away from ear. The second one, what we got, we have a pec fly. So the pec fly, we open it. Same rules would apply in terms of my shoulder alignment. So I want to be concentrating to the center of the chest. You open in a full range of movement, close squeeze. With this one, what I say, imagine you have a pencil between your breasts. So we're starting nicely from the top. Again, you want to stretch nicely, stretch both sides of your chest. You're starting from the top. Here I already aligned. So here, what you're noticing, the shoulders coming too high up. So nicely bring them away from ear. I'm about nipple high. This would be my position because as I'm open, I'm still diagonal. So careful with the opening so we're not dropping too low, but we can pass that 180 when we're on a step. On an exhale, I would squeeze, go up. Inhale is that easier part, right, when we're stretching. So that would be your eccentric part, and the concentric part is when we squeeze it up. So again, the more you squeeze, stronger resistance you will get. Beautiful. Now, while I'm lying down, the last part in that choreography was the up and over, right? When we were going in a chest, we started as a close grip chest press, then we're going in a choreography over. So the same, when I'm coming with my arms over, I'm lengthening from my back, so yeah, I'm stretching from the chest, but careful you not end up in a back bend. So I'm extending only to the point where my abs holding it. When I'm coming back, I'm trying to engage my upper part of the chest, nicely to drive it up and squeeze. Again, don't forget, keep shoulders away from ear. Beautiful. So that's 2 for the chest. Let me quickly check how I go for time. 13 pass, good. Then we're going through shoulder. I'm gonna lift the camera slightly up. Beautiful. Now, when we're going through shoulder, often what I say, right, we're going in a medial delt, for example, or front. So when we do the shoulder, as you can see, shoulders go the front, it's go the side, it's go the back. Basic movement, right? If I want to create the nice round shoulder cup, I would train front, I would train side, and maybe in a bend over, I would go in the rear delt. So position, when we're training shoulder, same rules apply. You don't want to lift through your upper traps. So if I would have the dumbbells, we're doing this one in a bar as well. I would start with rolling my shoulders back. That already give me nice position from the chest. You're closing the bottom part of your ribs. Now, if we go front, keeping the shoulders down, nicely fully extend from the arm. If you have a hypermobile elbows, don't block it. Look, my one is hypermobile, so I'm getting completely out of the alignment. So if you're hypermobile, keep that micro bend so we stay in a muscle, right? So I like to also soften up the knee, because if you are straight on and you're going into the lifts, chances are we're holding it a lot again in the lumbar spine. Yeah, or in your lower traps sometimes, depending on your position. So the moment I soften up my knee, it allows me to relax through the back. I roll the shoulders, close the bottom part of the ribs, so then when I'm extending, I can just concentrate it nicely, stretch it from the shoulder joint. Now, when we do shoulders out to side, here, what's the difference? So people tend to rotate either way, yeah, whatever works for them. The often what happens, they start opening the palm inwards and lifting up, so your shoulder is rotating back instead of going nicely up. So we want to work the side, so therefore again I would roll my shoulders back, and then I would concentrate to lifting the dumbbell up with my palms pointing down. And if you notice, my pinky is slightly higher than the thumb. So you can also soften up in an elbow. The main thing is I would not do this. This is not it. So keeping the upper trapezius down and then lifting up. In a pump classes, it's almost every time people take heavy dumbbells. So they take heavy dumbbells, and because it's the conditioning, when you're getting fatigued, it starts looking like this. Or you see guys in a gym doing that, yeah? Then you grow in your collar, you don't want to be there. Roll your shoulders back, soften knees, squeeze up strongly through the bottom rib, keeping the palm down. And again, nicely lock it there and slowly control down. Yes, so both part, nice control movement. So we do as much damage in a safe way, in a muscle fiber. So overnight it can repair, and that's how we pretty much building and strengthening the muscle. That's your shoulder. What else we would do? We would do maybe the last bit for the shoulder when we're working on a rotator cuff. So again, from the side, I would soften up my knees, opening up. My forearms would be 90 degrees. Roll your shoulders back, chest forward, elbows close to the rib cage, right? Because we want to get the mobility as well. Let's get into your triceps. So these are triceps. Often, which one we do at the bar? We're doing your triceps dips, and we're doing, I'm perfect with the time, good. So we're doing the triceps dips, and we can do the kickbacks, or we sometimes do over the head. So while the camera is up, let's go over the head. So again, from the side, my legs are soft. The position here of the elbows is important. So let me take the dumbbells down. Often, again, we will start opening up the elbows. So this is not the right position. What I want to squeeze the biceps with the ears. Nicely extend the arms, maybe touching down to the back if I can, and extend, control, movement, squeeze. So if I would have a dumbbells, I would go from the back, going down, keep squeezing elbows, and extend up. Yes, so we're remembering, the moment you start lifting your arms up, this is what can happen. Again, the back bend, yeah? I don't want to have the back bend. So slightly do your posterior tilt just to the neutral spine, close your bottom rib, and then concentrate on a squeeze. There's another thing what I'm always saying is like, have your mind-muscle connection. It is scientifically proven that if you really concentrate with your mind on a muscle group you are working, you're gonna get 30% more out of the exercise. So let's be productive while we're doing it. If we're doing the kickbacks, I can show it down. I would first lock the elbow, the kickbacks coming just from the forearm. Again, careful here, not lifting, so keeping your upper trap relaxed. Roll your shoulders back, lifting the elbows. I'll show you the kneeling version as well. Keep the elbows to the rib cage, and then just working from the forearm and squeezing here in the triceps. Good. While we're standing. No, let's finish the triceps. So going into your triceps dips. If anyone's got some questions, just write me. I can go over things. So triceps dips. First, the difficulty. So we know the more I bend the knees, the more weight I carry on my legs. Yes, so the easier it's gonna be. The more I stretch my legs, here, back, the more I extend the legs, the more I need to carry on my arms. In terms of the front, so I will do diagonal so you see, the hands are on the hip, because you want to have your elbows like a grasshopper, right? So the elbows would be sliding the body. So again, we're going directly into your triceps. So coming into the position, choosing the legs. Roll your shoulders back. There's another thing, people tend to sink in. They want to sink. So you're pressing of your arms, you're getting the height, you're choosing your legs. Now you hug yourself with the elbow. Yeah, so from the back, it's here. Don't let them open. So hip, hug myself with the elbow, elbows pointing back. You're coming Inhale down, again is the easier part. Exhale, drive it up. Inhale, come down. Exhale, drive it up. So not here, yeah? If you guys need a rest, it's better to rest, realign, than do it with whatever muscle comes handy, hey? The last bit, in terms of your triceps dips, we like to run away from the hard work, right? In terms of the stretch or in terms of the strength training. So another mistake, common mistake, what's happened, when people can't hold it anymore with the legs, they start thrusting and coming more on the legs, so then they're dipping this way. So you see my spine is definitely anywhere near the step. So you want to nicely bring your butt down, keep the spine relatively straight, and dipping so your booty is sliding the step. Yeah, so keeping the breath, inhale, exhale. The final and a common mistake is thrusting the pelvis while you're doing a triceps dip. So you would not do this. So this is another thing what people doing, pushing with the hip. So, and not enough bending the elbow. It's all in that elbow bend, yeah? Not in a butt. So it's better for you to go down maybe 20, 30 degrees than to go all the way down and again push it with your butt or with your legs. So hug yourself with the elbow, chest up, going nicely to the spine and pressing just from the elbow. Yeah, if you can go all the way down, you go all the way down. If I would extend my arms, yeah, I'm not pushing bum up, staying nicely with the arms. Good. The last bit with the triceps when we do is your military press. So squeezing the elbows together, and many of you are very much professional in this one, hey? Because we're doing it in a Pilates as well. There's a tea towel, that shouldn't be there. So let's go for it. We had two versions, so again, if you need to go on your knees, always better to be on your knees. Yeah, so I would go, this is the easier version, thrusting pelvis forward. You come into the plank. Don't let the butt behind. I lift my toes up and thrusting pelvis forward, and it's a gentle posterior tilt, but you need to close the ribs, so pulling the abs in as well. You don't cross legs. The reason why I in nowhere like to cross my legs is the straight away you cross the leg, you start getting even small one, but twist in the pelvis. We want to keep a good alignment. Now my wrist, elbow, shoulders in one straight line. So uncrossing leg, push pelvis forward, pull your abs in, shoulders away from here. On an inhale, again, elbow sliding the body, you coming down, exhale, pushing up. So I would like to go down into that, I don't know where is my elastic. So I would like to go down to the chest, but if that's not the case, if I'm not strong enough, it's much better to do this in a good alignment than to go there, yeah? What did I do? I again lifted the shoulders up and opened the elbows out to side. So it's no, okay? So keeping the elbows in, shoulders away from here, where I'm pressing nipple high. Think of the press up to be the combination of your pectoral muscles, of your chest, of your triceps, of your shoulder, yeah? Rule of thumb. Each time we're pushing, is your triceps. Each time we're pulling, is the biceps. That's why I combine a workout, chest and triceps, because they're pre-exhausting each other, and we have a nice decent workout in short period of time, than to just separate chest and separate triceps and separate back and biceps, and then I just join the back and biceps. So we have more time for other important muscles, hey, like your booty and hamstring. So if I would go in a full plank, yeah, lots of chaturangas, even in a yoga, same. From the side, I would come first in a plank, tug the pelvis under, not sinking in a shoulder. Get off the shoulder and hug myself with the elbow. That means you squeeze the elbows to the rib cage, elbows pointing behind you. On an inhale, I would come down. exhale, coming up. So common mistake would be to come down and then come up in a cobra and then butt up. That means you're not working simultaneously. So again, ego on a side. If you want to try the full one, I would go maybe just the halfway and then press up. Yeah, pressing still nipple high. Or I would come on the knees and work my way down and up, squeezing elbows to the rib cage. Now, the last variation of the press up is the wide one. Again, we sometimes do it in the Pilates. So same rule would apply. I want to have my arms diagonal. This would be the position, even if you go on the knees or over the knees. Common mistake of the press ups, people pressing up here. I don't know why. Maybe because their traps are helping. So you see often this. So you don't want to have your elbows with the shoulder. Again, natural alignments, roll your shoulders back, nipple high, that's where I want to press. So if I would come into the press up, oh, this hand bend, sorry. Hopefully you see well. So if I would come in a press up, I would come down diagonally and push up. So from the front, again, thinking of the right angle. If I'm going wide, that would be here. Good. So going down on an inhale, exhale up. Now the difference between the position on the wide one and closed one is the closed one would work more your triceps, where the wide one would be more working from the pecs. So same muscle groups working, but definitely if I want to improve the strength of the triceps, as most of the people's got the triceps weaker, because usually we just carrying the shopping bags, you know, and everything. So naturally the biceps is stronger because it's always in use. So if I want to, again, create a nice balance front and back, I would concentrate more on triceps, and they are more challenging, especially for ladies. The last bit, and we are almost done, 28. I'm on time, perfect. The last bit would be biceps. So this is basic of your triceps. Let me move this to side. Now 2 positions for your biceps. Again, you can use the barbell, you can use the dumbbells. What's the difference? With the barbell, you actually have to carry with both arms. What does it mean? If I have one arm stronger, what everyone normally does, body likes to cheat. So if I would curl, people tend, especially in the classes, to work more from that one side. And that's the otherwise, obviously, you can curl. You can do bicep curl. You can't do hammer curl, but you can do biceps curl. So that's why the dumbbells are often better option, or it's a good option to add into your workout, so the both sides are again even. So from this side, this is what guys do in a gym. Not all of them, most of them. It's almost a back bend. Again, bicep curl is a isolation exercise. What is isolation exercise? Only one joint is used. So one joint in this case would be your elbow. So I curl and I release. The moment I'm adding hip thrust into it, it's not really it, is it? So soften up the knees again. Close the rib cage, roll the shoulders back. Elbows goes to the ribs. You don't want to open up, you don't want to swing the arms. So again, where would be the exhale? On the exhale would be on the way up, because it's the tougher part. I would inhale on the way down. Now again, from the side, you don't want to drop the arms, and you don't want to move with it. So lock it in, soften up, hug your elbows in. On the inhale, I come in that concentric part, squeezing it up. On the exhale, extend, other way around. On the inhale, nicely extend fully in that eccentric part. The slower you go, the more you squeeze, stronger workout you're gonna get. So to create a nice shape of the biceps, I use it in my pump lift class, more of us to have a variety. But if you go to a gym and you do want to really shape your arm, you also use Another second basic one is your hammer curl. So there is a different position. As my bicep curls, the palms would be up, shoulders down, and I'm curling right on it. The hammer curl, the dumbbells are next to you, and you curling, that's why it's called hammer, it's like you're hammering into your shoulder. So same from the side, roll the back, I would squeeze, and I would extend. Yeah, try not to swing, control it on the way down, on the way up. Probably there's another common mistake besides that people like swaying with their hips. That means the weight is too heavy. You will have much better benefit unless you're training for strength. If you want a hypertrophy, if you want a good form of the conditioning, I don't suggest you to go heavy. Body pump, power pump, any of these type of classes, it shouldn't be thing of as a class where you do bodybuilding. It's making you fit. It does give you some strength, it gives you some fitness, some stamina. Nevertheless, if you really want to build up the muscle in terms of the size, in terms of the hypertrophy, you need to lift at least 70% of your 1 rep max, of your 1 maximum, 70% of that weight, and you do maybe 12, 10 repetitions 3 times, right? So this is not it. That's why I don't want to go so heavy, because there is no way that you can sustain it for 5 minutes of the workout if you do this type of classes, right? I mean, as a group exercise classes. So no swaying, don't go too heavy, and go in a full extension. That's another thing, and this is probably the last tip. People curl, so they go just up to there, especially when you do 21s. 21s is that you do the first half 7 times, 7 times upper half, and 7 times full. So often what's happened, people just go in a half. I do have a client who's got actually hypomobile elbows. So in that case, he can't fully extend. So it's very different. So if you are hypomobile, you can't extend anymore, that's fine. If you have that normal mobility, fully extend the arms. If you hypermobile like me, that you can pass, can you see how can I pass that 180? Then I would not go in a full range of movement, I would keep the microband to protect your elbows. Yeah, that's another common injury, tennis elbows, golfer's elbows. Often guys get it because they didn't realize that the joints are hypermobile, and they're going with heavy weight, full range of movement, and they're locking it in a joint rather than keep the contraction in a muscle. And over the long period of time, that's what happens. Injuries happen, and it's usually the tennis elbow. So it's the inflammation of the joint, so it takes sometimes long time to heal it. So that should be absolutely it in terms of your upper body. We didn't do abs, but we will do abs with some other time and plus with some other classes. So I think that you are very much set for our pump, lift and shape. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. You know, the form is the priority. Less in a good form is more. Add contraction, take longer. You know that I don't do my pump class necessarily with the music. We take time, we realign. Even when you go, maybe your press-ups, yeah, do 20, 30, 50 degrees rather than opening up. So let's use the correct muscle groups. You will have safer workout and you definitely get more benefits of it. So looking forward to see you tomorrow for our Pilates, 7:30. Any questions, don't hesitate to write. So lots of love, thank you, and wishing you good night. Bye everyone. Thank you. Let me switch it